Dang, that's interesting. Because I don't have anything invested. I have some fine metals. That's what I got.
Some fine metals.
Are you referring to your Funko collection behind you?
No, but that too.
That's my investments.
Too.
Like silver and stuff, you know?
I told myself that the second I leave and I start living on my own with a steady stream of income is when I would start investing. So that's my goal. I'm looking into Bitcoin, and apparently you can buy partial Bitcoin.
Yeah. You kind of almost, unless you were a millionaire or looking to lose everything on Bitcoin, because it's at like 33,000 right now. So
yeah, it's like 34K. I think I just looked a couple hours ago.
That's what's crazy about that type of stuff, because it's like you don't find out about, like, at least for me, I don't find out about these things until like they're already like in full force. So then it's
I mean, you did say you don't care about it, so that's probably partially why you don't.
Because I don't know much about this stuff, so I'll stick with my silver though.
Yeah, and I will say,
dragon, I'll sit on it.
I will say, if you don't know much about the stock market, or if you don't care, then you might want to turn this off. But if you care to learn, or you do know a lot, welcome to episode 35 of the Unboxing Life podcast. This will be our first topic for today, is the absolute insanity going on between Reddit and GameStop and AMC stock and the stock market in general, and what that all means. But yeah, we'll get into that right after our traditions. With me, you've heard us talking for a little while, but I'm one of your 4 hosts for today. My name is Cameron, and with me I got my boys. I got Alex.
What's going on, everybody? I don't know what that was, but
that's okay. That's good.
I opened up Google, so I didn't even see what you did.
Dang.
We got
just like, what's up, everybody?
Yeah, that's what he did.
We got my boy David.
What's up, guys? How's it going? Hey.
There you go.
No, we're happy to be here, man. Some crazy stuff going on. Class warfare.
Oh my goodness.
The end times. Financial ruin. What's going on?
It's total crazy. Annihilation of the world that we know.
Yeah.
And whose voice you just heard there, that's Trevor. How you doing, Trev?
I'm good, brother. How are you? No one ever asks the introducer how they are, so I'm going to ask you how you are.
Thanks, man.
How are you doing today, Mr. Shorthair?
I'm doing fucking terrible. Thanks for asking.
You heard that the guys at the hedge fund were losing money on their short positions, so you went and joined them and got your short hair. That's good, Danny.
Yeah.
You're on the wrong side though.
The hedge fund literally got the hedge trimmed.
I will before we jump into that, I will say I'm doing pretty good. I will not lie. I'm doing all right. We got some stuff riding on the market. We'll see how that goes. I'm expecting it to go well, because all the meme boys are holding the line on r/WallStreetBets. So
tell me you didn't use Robinhood, right?
I did, unfortunately.
That's like the easiest one to access.
Oh my god! And it's also the easiest one to just limit your entire actions on it.
Yeah. I mean, that wasn't known.
Robinhood.
That wasn't known until it happened. Was the thing.
Okay, so you bought it before that happened.
So I have nothing in GameStop. Because
no, I'm saying like you bought into, but they can easily do that with other stocks.
No, so they did it. They did it with GameStop, which is GME, and then everyone else was like, we're gonna hop to AMC, and then right after that was BlackBerry and Nokia, and so
and also American Airlines gets shorted a lot too.
And so they heard, and like David was talking about that they just like picked up the mention of one of the cryptos called Dogecoin, which is just a fucking meme in and of itself, but like they picked it up, and now there's like tweets with thousands and thousands of likes and everything about like buy Dogecoin, hold Dogecoin, whatever. And as soon as they saw that, they locked Dogecoin as well. So it was just like, what the fuck is happening?
It was going up, like I was watching it go up from like, it was like less than a tenth of a cent or whatever, went up to like 7 cents or something like that. I might be getting these numbers wrong, but yeah, it was going crazy. But by that time, it was already blocked by Robinhood before
it was right before it got hype. It was like a cent or less, and then it went up to 4, and then it went up to 7. And so people had dropped, like, you know, when it's a cent, you can get however many thousand Dogecoin for like very, very cheap. And then if that goes up to even $1 or something with the hype, then you've made yourselves a couple grand.
Well, even then, 7 cents, you just multiplied your money by 7, a factor of 7.
That's the thing. If you bought He threw a ton into it and then just sold when it was at its highest so far.
Yeah. So I mean, technically, if you bought like $100,000 worth of Dogecoin and it goes up from 1 cent to 7, then you've just made $600,000 or whatever. Yeah. So it could be as much as that. I'm sure that happened probably, but we can talk more about my personal finance, I guess, as well as how you guys feel about that. I don't know if you have your hat in the ring post tradiciones. So
as our traditions out there.
As the intro, I will take the liberty of going first with my fact of the week. My fact is that King Tut possessed an iron dagger. In his time, 1300 BC, or 3,300 years ago, iron smelting and manufacture was exceedingly rare, meaning that objects made of this substance were worth more than if they were made of gold. Based on the technology available to the Egyptians at the time, as well as material analysis of the dagger, it has been determined that the iron had to have been sourced from a fallen meteor.
Oh.
So basically, King Tut had a space dagger that was worth more than gold.
That's super cool. Dang.
Dang.
I want to say a show I'm thinking of, but I can't spoil.
Oh yeah, I was about to spoil actually. So yeah. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
What?
Y'all ad
If you don't know, nah, you still don't know.
You still don't know.
N-word.
That's so dope.
Let's not do that.
They had that.
I'm sorry,
dude.
The Biggie song. The
Biggie
classic.
song,
Juicy
of
is
course.
quite juicy for sure.
As a juicy fact, yes.
So I'm going to once again take my liberty as the introducer and assign the daddy joke of the week to be next. Ooh. Alex, how we doing?
Oh my lord.
Doing pretty well. I don't know about you, my boys, but I like to sing in the shower. I don't know if we all sing in the shower. Singing in the shower is dope until you get soap in your mouth. Then it becomes a soap opera.
Ah,
nice. Okay.
I see you, family.
A soap opera.
Jesus. Yeah, that goes hand in hand with your little joke that you sent earlier when you told Cameron not to drop the soap in the shower.
The shampoo.
The shampoo, yeah.
Doubloons, Gary. Don't drop them.
Yeah, wait.
The SpongeBob.
I want to ask you: is that was it actually in the show?
That's an actual line in the show. Yeah, he goes. Look, it's the episode where he tries to get Gary to take a bath, and he's like trying to make it a whole experience.
I remember that episode. I vaguely remember it.
He makes it a pirate like adventure or whatever, and he holds 2 bars of soap, and he's like, "Look, Gary, doubloons," and he winks and he goes, "Don't drop them." It's on when you looked at. I looked up the meme to send it. Yeah. I looked up the meme to send it to the chat, and like outside of images, the first like link is like 5 adult jokes that SpongeBob somehow got away with, or whatever, something like that. So it's an all-time classic.
Nutty. Wilding for that.
The freaking SpongeBob's crazy. The immediate adult joke that comes to mind is when he has the he's like, "I'm with my friends," and then he's got like a used napkin.
Yep.
And
that's too much. That's definitely too much. All right.
Dang.
Well, I can't think of a clean way to transition out of that, so I'm just gonna throw it to David.
All right.
How you doing with your tradition this week? What are we looking at?
I'm doing good, I think. My track of the week is gonna be "Money" by Naughty by Nature, because if you don't know what it is, you guys probably know, because it goes, "Here comes the money, 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 money." It's it's from Dunk.
Sounds very familiar.
Apparently is off of like a WWE freaking album that they put together with like Naughty by Nature was on it, which is funny.
Nice.
But
would that have been for Vince McMahon's walkout music? Probably.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
I think it is used as that.
Yeah.
It actually is.
Dope. All right.
Yeah, I didn't know Naughty by Nature did it, but talking about money.
Talking about cash.
Talking about cash.
Talking
money.
about stocks. We're talking about options.
Yeah, people stacking up the bills. What was that? The original dude on that Reddit forum was
deep fucking rich. Value.
Yeah.
What a champ.
Very rich man. Huh?
My man is dying a legend.
Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, if that's it for the track of the week, Money by who again?
Naughty by Nature, legendary hip hop group.
Dope. All right, Trevor.
I'm pretty sure we've already talked about this on the podcast, and this is another unorthodox quote that I'm going to be doing. But since we're talking about GameStop and that complete dilemma that's going on right now, I wanted to further emphasize the fact that they are still not doing well, even though you think that they are. They are not.
No.
I definitely don't think they're doing good.
Given that knowledge, I think I've already said, like I said, I'm pretty sure I've already said this on the podcast, but I wanted to give you guys a quote for a trade-in value of the PlayStation 5. Just in case you just in case like you wanted to like cash that in, that doesn't appreciate, you can't just go back to the store and they'll give you full price.
Mm-hmm.
So they quoted me today. And it says at the bottom, present this at any GameStop location. Generated 129.21. Offer expires at the end of the business day today, as if it's going to change. The store value, if you go to trade in your PlayStation 5 console, is $300. I don't know if you can see that.
Do you know what you could get straight cash
If you want straight cash, it's $240.
Jesus fucking Christ, GameStop.
That gets you like 48% of a PS5 pre-tax.
Oh my god.
Hey, it's gonna be hard for them to get rid of a PS5 right now. So
it will be.
Take that into account.
It will.
It moves like cold cakes, not like hot cakes. That shit. No one wants one of those.
Hey, we're not talking about the Series X.
No. Hey, whoa, hey, whoa. I don't know why I'm defending Xbox for any reason. I literally have no reason to defend Xbox.
Good. Oh, Game Pass.
So yeah. One thing I did hear about GameStop not doing well, but now doing well, is that the people who, are in at the ground floor at GameStop, who most, like, a solid chunk of their net worth is GameStop stock, are now able to sell out like as billionaires.
Wow.
I don't know about billionaires, but at least 100 millionaires. I don't know how much stock they own, but it was the one guy.
It was like $15, like not even 3 weeks ago.
Not even, way less. The one guy I saw, I think, bought it for 40 cents. GameStop was like below $1, like a week ago.
The lowest I ever saw was $5.
Or maybe maybe the guy I saw had it for like forever. Then
yeah, I don't think it's ever been that dirt cheap, but they have been doing very badly for quite a while, and they were projected to not even make money after all their revenues came in for the last year. Like, this has been a failing company for however long, and it's based on the idea that consumers don't need brick and mortar stores anymore. They're going straight to online. These malls that these GameStops are in are just dying. Like, there's malls that are closing down. Like, I went to Abercrombie and Fitch before New Year's or whatever, and they were closing that store. Like, they moved to a completely different mall, and they're closing all their stores because like they're just shifting their focus to online retailing.
Dang.
So
the whole brick and mortar stuff is true, but it also has a lot to do with their model, their business model, which is pre-owned games. Nobody's buying pre-owned games, and nobody's selling them to GameStop for 10 cents. Just that whole business model is like so in the past now. We've seen it.
It's ancient.
Blockbuster's out of business.
Yeah.
It's an ancient business model, and unless they switch it up, which I don't see them trying to do at all, they're gonna hit.
They've been in the tank forever. Like, I mean, the writing was on the wall for them, and I don't know how they haven't like managed to modify their focus in a significant way. They're still operating as if it's 2009 when the Wii was still selling.
Yeah, it's funny.
That's a little bit too true. Yeah, I mean, even if they wanted to, get themselves back in the game and be relevant, they're only like acquiring 3 like of the new console at a time, and that's like the peak of their ability or whatever to. And
they don't make money off that. They make money off of selling the used shit. They like all of the like new shit. They like that's why they want you to trade it in, and they'll give you credit. Like, they'll give you $40 for a new game because then they'll turn around and sell it for $55, and they'll make $15 on that copy, even though the game is worth more. But that's their entire model. They need to change it up.
Yeah,
which is even like, if a new game is 60 and they're selling me a used for 55, I would just spend every time. I'm not getting a used game for $5 off.
Facts.
Yeah, that was. I guess when I was a kid and like I didn't have any money, I would like take it wherever I could, and they would have like the bins of like the $5 games and whatever. That was cool, but
Yeah, that stuff is cool.
It's just not like that anymore. You have like, if you want to get a cheap game like on impulse, you go to Steam a lot of the time, or a lot of people do, or like a lot of stuff is digital. Stuff goes down in price even on digital stuff. So
even if you want like a used game, you can go on Amazon, you can go on eBay. Like you don't have to go to GameStop. GameStop is no longer the de facto game place. It says GameStop in the title, but no one's going there.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
They're not stopping by.
Yeah, the one in my corner used to be called EB Games, which I don't know if any of y'all had
EB
Games at any
EB
point.
Games,
That was, I don't know. I assume that GameStop was the bigger company that bought EB Games because they then got bought out and then their names were next to each other and then it was just GameStop. They've, got a lot of love for GameStop, of course. Told stories in the top 10 video games of all time about getting my first SP at that GameStop and
for
up the street from me and all that stuff. But yeah, it's like we said, a dying model. And then they even still do infuriating shit like when Black Ops 1 went backwards compatible. Like you could have picked that game up a month ago on their shelves for like $5 or less, and then once it went backwards compatible, they gouged it back up to $30 or $40 or whatever. So it's just their practices are.
That's any smart guy. Like even people on eBay were doing this. You can't really fault them for doing it, but it's
I don't know, man. It's like we said, unsustainable in the current market entirely.
As much as I would like for GameStop to stick around because of like the whole physical aspect, the company themselves, like the corporate side, is just like your typical corporate. Like I know good people who work at GameStop, but they're forced to. They have quotas. They're forced to.
They're forced to get signups.
So there's memes there's GameStop memes for a reason. You go into the store, they're like, "Hello, would you like to pre-order the new Call of Duty?" No, I don't want to pre-order Call of Duty. Would you like to pre-order the next whatever's coming out? They have like a whole laundry list of stuff they read off to you, and it's not like they want to do it. They're forced to do it by the corporation of GameStop.
And I always have to cut the guy off. Like every time he offers me a 2-year warranty on the disc or something like that. Whenever I go to just pick up a game that I bought online and just going to pick it up in the store because I didn't want to wait for shipping, and I go in there and I'm just like, yeah, can I have it? And then he's like, would you like $3 on the warranty? No, I've never had a problem with a disc in my entire life. Yeah. I've lived for 24 years and I've never broken a game disc. I don't need it.
And then I would highly recommend you buy the protection.
I know they're forced to sell it hard.
Cool, man.
God,
yeah,
I know my games are going to be good, so I'm just giving you money for fun at that point. Like, here, $3 more because I want you to.
Yeah. The pre-orders thing used to be interesting because it was like basically they were the middleman for all that shit for pre-order bonuses and stuff. At least that's how it was from my perspective. So like if you wanted to pre-order and get the first map pack when it came out and like the skin whatever else that came with the $80 or $100 edition of the game as opposed to the $60, then that was like where you did it. But now I can just go on the Xbox store and like compare and contrast all the different versions of $80, $100, $120, $200 Call of Duty and realize that like, oh, I'm just paying $20 more for this game for 3 skins. I'm okay. I'm set. It's just like,
they used to have cool, like, I got this when I bought Platinum. It's a little Giratina figurine. Like they used to do a lot of cool shit.
Exactly. They used to do like shit that mattered.
They even gave me like a Palkia stylus for the DS back in the day. Like they had some cool pre-order bonus shit, but now it's just like get a pin or get a necklace or get a free poster. Like, fam, my entire wall is covered in posters. I don't need another one.
Dang.
I mean, you got a spot freeing up at some point, right? In your new house. You said you were taking Eminem off the wall.
Yeah, fuck him. My man is going straight in the trash. Along with Chuck too, because he fucking points at us and I'm having sex and he's just like pointing and laughing at me. Like,
that's a reason and a half to take a poster down. Jesus Christ. Which poster is that?
It's Sheldon, and it says Bazinga on the top. And I didn't buy it. It was a gift from one of my mom's friends, but it's literally just him going,
Bazinga.
That's funny.
That's amazing.
You know the funny shit about his catchphrase is that he says it like less than 10 times throughout the entirety of the show. Dang. And yet it was like such a huge thing.
There's the one episode where he stays up for hours and hours at a time, and then is in the ball pit and is like snaking around.
When he's trying
and then he says that's like half of the uses in the show probably.
Yeah,
because he says it like 5
times. He doesn't say
it
at all.
But yeah, it's very rare. Yeah. I mean, that's a lot in line with his character.
Whenever he's in the ball pit, and Leonard's chase him or whatever. Yeah, that's
Bazinga.
Yeah.
Bazinga!
Yeah.
But
yeah. Dang.
So yeah,
spoiler. Have you ever seen it?
But
what a spoiler for a sitcom.
But yeah, I mean, GameStop isn't being saved, but interesting things are happening with the stocks.
Yeah, definitely.
I did a whole bit of research on this, so I kind of want to just summarize it and just for my own sake, also for people that have no idea what we're talking about.
I had to do quite a bit of reading to figure out what the fuck was going on. So, and I was already halfway involved. So, I mean, take it away.
And it's still a convoluted mess. It's still being understood because shit like this just doesn't happen.
Hasn't happened.
The 1% doesn't get screwed. There's reasons why these things don't happen.
Yeah.
But it just happened to happen. So my general knowledge of this is that there's a subreddit on Reddit, obviously, called WallStreetBets, and it's a community of people that go YOLO, and they'll just put up their entire life savings on certain bets they'll take on the stock market, and they'll either post their losses or they'll post their wins, and they'll go again. They call themselves retards. It's through and through the most balls to the wall shit I've ever seen on any site ever. They just post this guy. I was just scrolling through and just seeing 730K YOLO'd on GameStop. Hold. That's the big meme right now. But
hold
the line.
Yeah. So a little background on. Yeah, a little background on them. They had 1.7 million members before this shit kicked off earlier in the week. They're up to 6.3 million.
Yeah.
This thing has almost increased fourfold.
Yeah, I checked it today and it was 6 mil something, but then it was unheard of is over 1 million people online viewing the page actively at the time. It was 1.4 mil on the page. I was surprised it wasn't crashing. I was holy hell.
This GameStop ordeal is so big that even when Versio and I went to her work to go get ramen one day, her boss, that's the first thing he was talking about, because I guess he watches the stock market closely, and that was the first thing he was talking about. Yo, have you seen the GameStop stock? And I hadn't heard about it at the time, and I'm just sitting here what is happening? And then I look on Reddit, and it's just blowing the fuck up. So essentially, what happened was there was a large group of investors on this page called WallStreetBets. They were basically one guy, I think his name is Deep Fucking Value. Mm-hmm. I don't know how much he put up for the GameStop stock, but he was the forerunner of it. And he put up a massive amount of money on, I don't know if he bought the stock outright or if he bought call options, but either way, it boosts demand and it pushed the price up. So a lot of people followed suit and we're starting to buy this GameStop stock, which is called GME on the stock market exchange. And what this does is for a failing company like GameStop, where people are betting on this company to fail and lose, and the stock price to go down. These huge funders, these big Wall Street guys, they're placing these huge ass bets, and they've been doing this for years, where they'll find a failing company and they'll buy millions and billions of dollars worth of short options, and they'll have huge short positions. So basically, they're betting on the stock price falling so that they can make the difference. So they'll short selling. You basically short a stock, you sell it outright, and then at a certain period of time in the future, you have to pay that back. So you're not actually owning the stock; you're just selling it. You're selling something else that someone else owns, and then you have to pay it back. But they're placing the bet. Yeah, they're placing the bet that the company will fail. So they're gonna short it at $5 a piece or whatever. The GameStop price goes super down, $1 a piece. So they make $4 per share that they shorted. So the reason why these hedge funds are getting screwed is because the guys that bought the stock are pushing the price up to astronomical heights that it's never seen before.
Yep.
So these people are having to close their positions on these short positions and buy stock to hedge their position because they're losing money as it goes up. So the interesting thing about short selling is that you can only make 100% profit. You can only make as far down as the stock will go. So if the stock is $300 and you short sell it, you can only make $300 per share that you short. That's the maximum. That's a ceiling. There's no maximum on how much you can lose. The price can go up all the way up as far as it wants to go. It can go as far as it wants, and they're gonna have to pay that back because someone else owns that stock. And when that time comes for them to have to buy that back, they're losing billions of dollars. So these people are pissed, right? So then you got these free trading platforms like Robinhood. Fuck Robinhood. I feel very sorry for these people that work for them. We'll get to that in a second. They basically put in place actions that you cannot buy stock like anymore. Like on games, you could only buy like 2 to 5 shares of stock per like 24 hours or whatever like that.
Importantly, you can still sell it though.
You can sell, which is exactly what they want them to do. They want that price to fucking tank.
Massive market manipulation is like not only not making it able to buy, but like you can still sell. Like you can still, go ahead, take your profit, sell it. Go guys, go sell it. And so that would then cause it to fall back down, which would get which is what the hedge fund guys want. So continue, Trevor.
They're just experiencing what they call a short squeeze, where they lose money on a short position, and I think it's incredibly comical. I think these guys have the biggest balls I've ever seen. I fucking love it. I'm so glad that this is happening. Like once I understood what was happening, and I'm a finance major, it took me a second because I don't really look at investments yet. Like that's a very big if right now, but for me to understand that. It just brought a smile to my face. Like these guys literally just had the biggest fuck you to the hedge funds. Yeah, it's so great.
But like, what happens? Like, because it's always moving up and down. What happens? Like, obviously we talked about it. GameStop eventually is going to be like so irrelevant where they're not going to be a thing anymore. So like, what happens when it just goes down again?
This is what they call a bubble, where they basically have like higher expectations than what the underlying security can provide. So GameStop is obviously not a $300 stock company. So their revenues are not going to show that they can even pump out dividends or any kind of positive return for these people. So I don't know what happens with this kind of stuff, because it's just stock. Like it's going to plummet the market, but it's not like when it was in 2008 when they were betting on housing.
Yeah, I mean it was
like
all
totally
of real
different.
estate.
It's just
in 08, so
it's just a digital, like it's a digital security. There's no like tangible thing. But I don't know what happens, honestly. I'm curious to see what happens. They're predicting like there's going to be a stock market crash and whatever, and I guess I just don't understand how that would happen. The only thing that I can see coming from this is that these hedge funds are getting completely fucked, which I'm all here for.
Yeah.
And
it's a total flip. The 1%
like I question like how long it's gonna last.
It could be a week, could be a month, could be a year. It's extremely volatile at this point.
Yeah,
and I really don't know. But I think those deadlines for the short positions are coming up, which is why they wanted them to like sell so quickly now. So I don't know where they stand, but this could pop like next week, for all we know.
Wow.
Why did they get banned from Discord?
Huh?
WallStreetBets Discord got closed, you mean?
Yeah, like why I seen that. Why did that happen?
I don't know why it happened, but I assume it was just because of so much traffic. I assume it was putting too much stress on their servers. I don't see why Discord would shut it down otherwise. Discord has no fighter in that ring.
In the game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
That we know of.
Hopefully.
That we know of.
I mean, technically, if you own Discord, you maybe have, something in a hedge fund, but I mean, it went right, to my knowledge, it went right back up like hours later. So
I know, but that's maybe.
It is weird.
I would say maybe more importantly, that was the mods making the sub private, not the sub getting taken down. So never mind, because people were freaking out like WallStreetBets got taken down or whatever. But I think the mods just made it private because they were like dealing with so many people coming in and like shit posting and doing whatever, and then the sub is flooded and whatever. So
it was a literal influx of 1 million people,
several million people,
millions of people.
Yo, if you're some of those million people, come over to r/unboxing life while you're at it.
That's a fact.
Yes.
That's a fact.
Yeah, we'll post. Nothing of the sort, but
yeah. But did you also hear about Google like removing like 100,000 negative reviews of Robinhood? Like they sort of got review bombed.
Yeah,
and Google removed a frick ton of negative reviews. So that makes me think about like the connection between the big companies and the investors, and the stockholders and stuff. I mean,
that has I couldn't name you something off the top of my head, but that's happened before. Oh, what was it? Frick! Oh my god, I'm not gonna think of it, and I'm taking up time, but yeah, it's happened before where like for some reason like the app made like one shitty decision that screwed a lot of people over, and so it got just bombed with reviews, with negative reviews, and then they removed them, and then it just all blows over. So I don't know if there's going to be any sort of consequence to that or anything. I mean, it's their store. Technically, they can do what they want with it, and they can, just stamp a fraudulent or like not accurate kind of thing on it, or like false claim, and just say okay, bye, and then there's like no contest to be had. So you can yell and scream at Google all you want, I guess, but I don't know if anything's going to happen from that. But I guess the important takeaway being that we just know that can happen. That the almighty corporations can just say fuck what you say, we're just going to remove it. So
yeah, I mean, we sign off our rights the second we hit I agree to terms of service, so that's just how it goes. Mm-hmm. You're not going to read a 60-page report on all the rights that you're giving up and relinquishing.
Calculator would like to know your location.
Like I hit don't allow every fucking time that I know my zip code. I can put it in myself. You don't have to do it for me.
Thank you very much.
But there was something I seen on the thread of Robinhood employees got a $40 credit of DoorDash for their concerns about what's been happening. Like, because I guess they're just having a whole mutiny over there
of DoorDash.
They don't want to calm it.
Wait. Of DoorDash, $40 in DoorDash stock or $40 to order
credit,
DoorDash,
like to buy a meal.
Okay, so to order DoorDash, delivery included.
Yes. Yeah.
Jesus fucking
each
Christ.
employee got like $40 of it, and I think there's already a class action lawsuit that's been filed.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, that's pinned on WallStreetBets.
How high profile are these Robinhood employees, though?
I don't know, but I saw that tweet and my heart broke for them. Like,
that is
imagine being in Burger King or something. Like, that's a Robinhood employee. Get him. Like, what?
Nah, they're not. Nah, that's not what's happening.
You're just like, I'm just HR, bro. I just file paperwork. Like, stop. Lynch him, kill him, get him.
Yeah. I guess there are other trading sites and apps that are still like allowing these investments, right? But Robinhood was like
most of them were. Basically most brokerages, things like that. But I mean, Robinhood was by far the most accessible because of like the no commission, and you can buy as little as you want. Basically, there's no minimums, which I know some brokerages have. So, I mean, it's obviously the modern day of stock trading. You just tap a couple buttons and it's sent for you. You don't have to talk to a person. You don't have to. I mean, the delay is like automated in basically. So it's just too easy not to use almost. I know Acorns is the other one, but Acorns is like automated to a pretty high degree. I don't know exactly how that one works, but
it's like cents off the dollars you spend or whatever.
I don't know if they even allow like large scale deposits, but either way, I could deposit on Robinhood like $100, and even though that transaction technically hadn't gone through, since they had proof of the transaction, I could then buy stock using like $100 credit that Robinhood gives me. And so like that money is like currently in the pipeline from me to them, but I've already bought stock with it, is like how convenient that app is. And so for them, so basically they monopolize the convenience of stock trading for the lower and middle class. And then the tweet was like, how are you going to call yourselves Robinhood and then shut down when Robinhood shits actually starts happening?
I didn't even think about that shit.
Like literally like the poor begin to benefit at the expense of the rich.
Holy shit!
And the app that calls themselves Robinhood stops it from happening. This
episode is called Robinhood, by the way. This is but it's going to be Robin Hood, the name, not the company.
Can we put the fox?
The fox. That's what I was going to say. The Disney Robin Hood.
The thumbnail.
That is fucking funny, man.
I know.
That's the rich to benefit the poor, but it's the opposite. Yeah. That's fucking insane. That's like, dude, that's
it's so prime social media just jokes and everything to like tear them apart.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because I knew of Robinhood pretty well from like YouTubers and people would like read their ads. They're big online.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like and now like
I've seen their
every
ads.
yeah, and then but now every internet personality like I follow or have ever heard of is like completely like dissing them as a company, saying there's basically no reason to use them. So they kind of, I wonder if they will actually see like how significant the impact will be on them. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, everyone was literally screaming jail. Like everyone was like, like if not marching him through the streets and tarring and feathering, like at least jail. So it was like everyone involved in the whole operation of stopping people from accessing the market is like, you know, that's got to be something. I don't know the name for it, but it's got to be something. Some lawyer can figure out which it is, but we got to. I mean, get these guys responsible. But I don't know
if I said this in the rant or if I said this before we started recording. But there's like accounts that if they're big enough, they weren't being limited on their stock buying. Like so they were strictly just protecting the 1%.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. If you were buying enough GameStop from a brokerage firm or even whatever, you were fine. So
it's a nice little lesson. Like if you sort of analyze like weird things that go on in like, you know, society or whatever, like, you know, like why did this happen? Why did this politician do this? A lot of times you can trace it back to protecting the wealth of the 1%, and that'll sort of give you your answers. So it's sort of like a little nice, you know, easy, like learnable lesson for people, I guess.
Yes.
It's like so apparent in this case that that's what's happening.
It is. We'll see if we can go any further than this, but it is the lesson I learned as we, you know, as the death toll, especially in the United States, but around the world, but especially in the fucking United States, mounted over 400,000 for COVID, as we were like, we're not going to close down because we want to keep the economy running. And it's like, okay, people are dying at the behest of people still making money. And it's not even the people at the bottom. Yeah. The people at the bottom are just dying and losing their jobs and like not being paid a living wage for a pandemic. And then the people, I mean, you see it every 5 seconds. You know, Jeff Bezos increased his wealth by this many billion. Elon Musk increased his wealth by this many billion since the start of the pandemic. It's like over and over and over again. So it's, yeah, I mean, completely true that's the lesson that I've been learning, is that, you know, protecting like you just said, David, is that protecting the 1% is the root of all evil, basically.
I think it's the primary function of the U.S. government at this point.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it.
And I mean, they had like the $4.5 trillion bailout for corporations that they passed like
PPE
so
PPP.
quick, and then like they couldn't give like bailouts to regular people and small businesses, or like they just completely were dragging with any other kind of relief.
Yep.
And
yeah, it's the tweet right now is that like people are betting that Wall Street's going to get bailed out before we get $1,400 checks.
Yeah,
and $1,400 isn't going to do jack shit.
Yeah, I mean it's something, but it's basically nothing.
All it is doing is just taking the value of it further.
Another tweet I saw that was like the 1% versus, you know, the lower class was like, you know, the argument for $600 checks is like $600 checks is a lot of money actually if you invest it right. And then it's like ... It's like no, not like that, not like that. don't invest like that.
Yeah.
So
I know, right?
It's some backwards ass bullshit we're living in, and it's completely getting exposed.
Crazy
and
times.
I don't know where we go from here, honestly, because like basically the narrative that, you know, the stock market is more or less infallible and correct and can be predicted and whatever has just been entirely exposed by a group of Redditors, by just a few million Redditors. So it's
the idea that we live in like a free and open market too. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean it's especially crazy to me to the point where this was technically always possible. We only just now thought of it. Basically, it was that I wonder if there were financial analysts out there that predicted this happening, that saw, you know, subreddits coming together of millions of people and thought, you know, it's the like the monkey together strong, right, from War of the Planet of the Apes. It's like none of them. I mean, it's class warfare to the highest degree. It's like by themselves they mean nothing, but together they can enact change. And so that's what finally fucking happened, is they were like, okay, if we all commit to this, we can all benefit. It's the prisoner's dilemma, basically, to a stock market degree. I think I'm using that right. But
it's interesting to look back, like for me, because like especially with something, I think it's interesting that it's happening to GameStop specifically, because GameStop is a company. I mean, obviously, I'm into video games, so I've been following them for like I'll see YouTube videos about like GameStop's doing worse now, or GameStop's doing this, GameStop stock drop doing this. I see this, I'm like, the writing is on the wall, like Trevor said, but like there was a certain point where I'm like, damn, GameStop stock is really low. What if someone like me were to buy some stock, but then like but then it's a dead company, so it's just gonna keep going down. So there's no point in that. Now it's like 1,700% or something.
Yeah.
I wanted to before I went and looked at it, and then I got distracted in the conversation, but I wanted to correct myself because what I said was completely wrong. Is that GameStop stock hasn't been less than $1 for fucking forever. The guy I saw that had it for less than $1 bought it, must have bought it forever ago. About a couple months ago, it was around $20, and like a week ago, it was just below 40. So all the people that were buying it en masse to get it to go to where it now is, over 300, bought it at $40 or around there. So
yeah, I'm about to say, because I've never seen it that low. I know they've been doing bad, but like the lowest I've ever seen it was $5 a pop.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, like Alex said, I think it's very interesting that GameStop was the one company that they decided to do this with.
Hoping AMC is next.
Yeah, AMC might be it, American Airlines. You know, like this will probably teach you to look at shorted stocks, and especially their shorted stock ratios, where like certain stocks will be heavily shorted because they have no faith in the company, or they want you to believe that there's no like a great opportunity or like great future for them. So they want the stock to go further down the toilet. So just look for these companies that are quote unquote going down the toilet, and hold your stock. Don't sell it. You know,
well,
that's what they want you to do.
Don't sell it if you got an army of Redditors behind you. Most of the time, the hedge fund wins that bet of betting against the failing company. So
they just distill fear and want you to believe that the stock is going to continue to plummet. So you just cut your losses, and then they cash out even further.
Yeah, something like AMC, actually has a future. So like not like GameStop.
AMC,
I don't know, man. I don't think so.
Interestingly, like was gonna go bankrupt over the pandemic, and they're
losing money, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean they were literally going to go bankrupt. I'm pretty sure I saw an article about that, and then they like finally got bailed out one way or another, and then they're on their last legs, and they're doing like, you know, you can rent a theater out with all your friends for like $100 or something like that for however long, and so they were doing all this stuff to try to stay on their feet, and now that they technically have capital through stock sales, if it continues, then AMC like actually could survive. I mean, GameStop's a dying breed because of online sales and everything, but I don't think. I mean, movies are pretty far from going out of fashion in a large degree. I mean,
and theaters are going to come back when the time is right.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, I mean, not now, but
yeah, I mean, Demon Slayer just is number one in Japan now. I mean, only a couple of years ago we saw Infinity War break records. So like those blockbusters are still happening. Events like that are going to demand that you go to the movie theater to see it with a group of people and with all the surround sound and the massive screen and everything. That there will still be a demand for that for a good long while, I think. So
absolutely,
I think
there's truth
AMC
in what
could survive and then succeed into the future and with this. So this is kind of crazy important for them.
There's truth in what you're saying, but also like companies are adapting. Like they don't have to necessarily put their blockbuster through the middleman and have to share their revenue. They can put it right on their streaming platform. Like we're seeing this with Disney.
They don't want to do that. Like for Black Widow, it's still delayed. It's now it was supposed to come out like
they still have, I don't think they've
that movie back in particular. They want it to come out in theaters because they make more money that way.
I don't know. I think they just haven't found the correct way of doing that.
They tried it with the streaming platform, but it didn't really work that well.
Yeah, but they also charged $30. Like they probably just didn't do it right. I think movie theaters are going to become like drive-ins, where there's going to be a far less amount of movie theaters that we know today. There's going to be like one or two, and they might look great. Like they might put more money into them into looking great, because there's a lot of movie theaters out now that are shitty. They are like so 1980s dog shit looking. It's like it's disgusting. I don't even want to go in there. But
yeah,
like I think it's becoming a dying medium. I think we're gonna be consuming culture completely differently in the next 10 years. But I love going to the movie theater. Don't like get my words fucked up. But like, I think it will become like the drive-in where there's a niche community and that will thrive, just like how physical sales will never truly go away because there's always going to be a market of people that want to put them on their fucking wall. You're just going to have to pay a premium for it. That's just the way it goes.
Yeah. I still bet on the human phenomenon of wanting to go see that in a big group.
I don't. Not enough to maintain what they have right now. But.
It's also you know, date night never dies. Basically, you know, you want to get out of the house sometimes. You want to go somewhere to watch a movie as opposed to just sit on the couch you've been sitting on all day. So I think that I mean that's a seemingly niche phenomenon, but I think that's probably a pretty high percentage of people that's the reason they would go to the movies is to watch it. Go like make an event of seeing a movie and then you grab dinner or whatever, as opposed to just like hitting two buttons on the remote and you're then just watching the movie that just came out or whatever. And I can see that definitely becoming a platform kind of like it already is, where I mean I think I don't know what studio it was, Warner Brothers maybe, that is already committed to releasing all their stuff on HBO Max this year. Is that Warner Brothers? So those deals are already happening, but that's still mid-pandemic. But I think you're right. I think movie theaters will become more few and far between. But I think we're at least like 30 years from seeing them die out completely.
I never said they would die out completely. Never said that.
I mean, dying out to the degree you're describing, I guess.
They will have like a tenth of the theaters that they have now.
Maybe
like,
2025. Because what I see most realistically replacing that maybe is like a VR kind of experience, where you can still get the movie theater experience, but you know, in a headset or with, you know, full dive technology or some bullshit if SAO ever comes true. But
I think what could very possibly happen is that people like consumers are gonna get the market of streaming platforms is gonna get completely oversaturated. Everybody and their mother thinks they can launch a streaming platform. Like NBC launches a streaming platform. DC has a streaming platform. Like, what the fuck is gonna watch DC? Like, just DC? But like, there's gonna be so much individuals. Every company is gonna think they can launch their own streaming platform.
Yeah, they'll come and go and die. The true will survive, but
people are gonna get like sick of it. I mean, people are gonna stick to Netflix and Disney and Hulu because they're massive, but no one's gonna be like, I'm gonna get a DC subscription just because I want to watch Batman.
Yeah, the streaming thing is interesting because it's like I do want competition, like it's always good in a market or whatever, as opposed to like a monopoly of one or two companies. But it's kind of like it becoming like a cable package again. Because
I was literally gonna say that.
Yeah, you pay for like 10 streaming services to get everything because there's like the owning of the rights, which is like a big deal. Like if you want to watch the show, you want to watch that show, so you can't. There's not really another way around it, and other than pirating. But I don't know. I kind of hope it gets more consolidated again, like it shrinks again. But maybe DC will just have like 10,000 subscribers or something. I don't know, and they'll just sustain off of that. It just seems wild. There's like you said, like everything has a streaming service nowadays.
Like there's
I mean, there's different communities. Like obviously, we're not the demographic of people that want to have a DC Online subscription, so we won't do that. But they'll, they market to the people that are going to buy that. I know plenty of people that would go head over heels for that kind of shit. So
yeah, I think so.
It's really, I mean, there's not a whole lot of upfront costs. You just have to have a platform to put the shit that's already out. Like you have a backlog of 40 years worth of content. Like you can just charge $6 a month. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I think so. Mm-hmm. Then it's like, are they gonna restrict Batman movies to like their platform, and then everyone has to get DC for like a month or something, and then cancel it?
And then licensing deals happen again, and then the whole Netflix thing. Like, I just don't want to like think the way Alex is thinking, where it's like, like how you said, you just want to fall back on like the big ones. Like that's how we felt about Blockbuster, and then that shit went away. Like. Things change, it's going to be a completely ever-changing market.
I'm not saying we should fall back on the big ones. It's just like there's like there's going to be too much streaming platforms. Like why do you need a streaming platform for like only everything like NBC that's on Peacock or like.
I mean, people still pay for cable. Like,
like it's gonna get like
it's gonna be a thing for a while.
To the point where it's like I'm paying this much a month for this platform, and this for this platform, and this for this platform. How many streaming platforms am I gonna have to pay for?
It's still like, even like, I know cable was astronomical. Like you back in the day, it was like $150 to get like all the channels, especially in like HD and shit. And that's like not even considering like the NFL Sunday Ticket and whatever bullshit they had, you know. But HBO, like even now, Showtime. If you have Hulu, Disney Plus, Netflix, and you know Crunchyroll, and you know maybe 5 or 6 streaming platforms, you're pretty much set. You're paying like $40 a month. Yeah, like it's still far less than what we were paying for cable.
Yeah, it's like I don't think it's too bad yet, but I'm with the fear of like, for the consumer, is it going to be, because they you know, that's the thing, they might find a way to make it like the way they squeeze out, and then everyone has 10 streaming services and they slowly put on more and more ads. Literally, you're watching cable, which I don't want, and I hope that model won't be successful. Is basically all I'm saying. Like, I hope they can have a few.
They're just going to steadily raise prices. Like Netflix, how many times have they just increased it?
That'll be actually very interesting to me if we do sort of evolve to a almost streaming only, almost like premium only. So, right, you pay for HBO, you get no ads during the shows. You pay for Netflix, there's no ads on Netflix. I wonder if that becomes, if basically TV ads become obsolete, what new ways are brands going to find to shove their brand down our fucking throat?
Social media, targeted ads.
Largely social media.
They're already selling your data.
I know we're already there, is what I'm saying. Like, I feel like they'll find something new.
That's the ticket right there. That's the ticket right there. They're gathering your data and selling it.
Imagine
like people are profiting so much. Like fucking, I had to get something notarized when I first started my internship like 4 months ago, and I was looking up something about like finding a notary on like my phone, just on Google. And not even 10 minutes later, I log into fucking Instagram and I'm scrolling through my feed. Find a Florida notary near you. Yep. Like it's a targeted ad. They're selling your data as you speak into your phone. Like it's unfucking real.
Yeah, per keystroke, dude. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So that future's already there. So
well, I'll tell you what's gonna keep TV ads around. The Super Bowl, baby.
Yeah.
Super Bowl. You guys got plans for the Super Bowl?
No.
The Super Bowl commercials.
God, no.
Yeah, Trevor doesn't give a fuck about sports.
I thought they stopped doing that shit.
Oh my goodness. Wait, the NFL still exists?
Jesus.
They stopped the Super Bowl. Yeah. I mean, it's funny because even Super Bowl ads have I think they less money is put into them relatively, right? Like I feel like they're less extravagant and everything like every year.
They've been of listening quality for a number of years. In my opinion, there's still good ones.
But
yeah.
There's also
something I'll miss.
It's also weird. Like now they're like click like you'll see a 5-second YouTube ad for like Hyundai or something, and it's like click on this ad or go to this site to see our ad for the big game. It's like no thanks. And it's like up a week early on their site, and it's like come view now, be one of the first. It's like I could give a fuck less, Hyundai.
That's always hilarious to me. Like I know there's hype around Super Bowl commercials, but you miss me with like click here to see an ad.
Yeah. Like come out of your freaking way to the video from the video you were just about to watch our ad a week early.
That is a super bruh for sure.
Yeah, and that's like not that uncommon. That's not that uncommon anymore. And you know,
selling the idea of seeing an ad before the ad comes up. Oh my lord.
Yeah, pretty consistently the idea is like, you know, some brands have, you know, Doritos does their one, Pepsi does their one, Coke, whatever, this, that, and the other thing, and it's all you look forward to seeing whichever ad. But you know, in the last few years, they've been falling off. In my opinion, they haven't been as.
Isn't The Weeknd performing?
I have no idea what the halftime show is, actually. I think so, maybe. That sounds right.
I'll tune in for that, but that's it.
Yeah.
I never see that.
I mean, tune in to watch Tom Brady win his 7th Super Bowl, baby.
I will say congratulations to the Tampa Bay community in general, because the Bucks are there. The Tampa Bay Rays, they went to the World Series, and the fucking
Lightning.
The Tampa Bay Lightning won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah,
that's phenomenal.
They're pretty freaking good right now. Yeah,
congratulations, man! Like y'all deserve everything and more. Like, that's
I hadn't heard a single thing about any of that. Oh, okay. It is the weekend. Nice.
It is
Cool.
the weekend.
Oh, good for Tampa.
Yeah.
Cameron's salty because his boy's gone.
No, I'm not. I'm actually rooting.
He's not.
I'm rooting
He's
for
not
him.
Yeah.
I want him to, because I mean, I'm gonna skate over a lot here, but basically the idea is that that Tom Brady and the head coach of the New England Patriots need each other to win. So that's like the main argument against, is Tom Brady the greatest quarterback of all time if he can exist outside of the system that he's succeeded in. And so now, 1 year removed from the Patriots, literally his season after leaving the Patriots, he's walked the fucking. I mean, it hasn't been a stroll, but they've
What was their record?
They've gone directly to the Super Bowl. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but they started off pretty poorly and then did really well the rest of the season to snag like a solid playoff spot. They weren't like, it wasn't like last week contention. And then obviously they won all their playoff games, with the last one being against Green Bay in the NFC Championship, and now they're playing, frick me, I'm gonna forget, the Kansas City Chiefs in the in the Super Bowl. So yeah,
and Patrick Mahomes.
So basically, I'm rooting for Tom to win his 7th ring, so that the conversation basically gets put to bed about all the idiots who don't think that Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time.
The new conversation is, and I've heard it amongst my friends who are Patriots fans, where it's like, are you a real Patriots fan or are you just a Tom Brady fan? So like,
I mean, it's literally the same thing about like Logic fans. You know, like, are you a 1-800 fan or are you a fucking Under Pressure fan? Like, at the end of the day, it doesn't really fucking matter. But
that's style. But yeah, no, that's weird to me that people would say that, because like, I obviously still love my team, but Tom brought us to fucking 10 Super Bowls, won 6 of them. Like, how can you not love them? How can you not be a Tom Brady fan and a Patriots fan still? Like, it doesn't, like, that's not a difficult separation for me. So
yeah, it seemed like it would be hard for me to be a sports fan, because people would get like mad when LeBron left the city and be like, man, you know, our freaking
burn the jersey and shit.
The Heat's gonna be hurt by that. And I'd just be like, I like LeBron. I just want to watch him play. I don't know. I just follow him around at whatever team.
Yeah.
Like, which is
I mean, people do that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's not accepted.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, there's a whole dialogue of, you know, glory seeking and fake fans and whatever.
Tampa was 11-5, by the way.
They were 11-5 at the end of the season. Yeah, I think they won a few of those, or lost a few of those at the beginning of the season. They had a pretty solid run at one point, but I mean, they're what I say is like peaking at the right time. Like, I mean, it happened to the freaking Patriots years ago when we lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl. We were 18. Might have been before that. It was definitely before that, actually. I was in like 3rd grade, so it was like 06 or something like that. But anyway, we went 18-0 through the playoffs into the Super Bowl, and then we lost the freaking Super Bowl, leaving the Miami Dolphins to be the only team to stay undefeated and win a Super Bowl. So that was fucking devastating. Crazy. I hate Eli Manning and the Giants forever.
I remember
they beat them in 2012.
That had to be another time too, because I remember I saw it in like 5th grade. I watched the game or something.
Story. The New York Giants are the 2008 Super. Okay, so there's 2008. That was right there.
It's funny because I seen like an interview with like Tom Brady and like,
I guess, yeah, whatever. Go ahead.
I seen an interview with Tom Brady and Eli Manning, and it was Eli Manning just saying how like whenever he's with Tom Brady at like a party or something, he never brings up the Super Bowl with him because he can't. But Tom Brady always brings it up to him, and he's always pissed about that. They weren't able to go undefeated, like you said, that one Super Bowl.
No, of course you are. I mean, that's literally that's the peak of football history is never losing a game in a season fucking including the fucking the championship game. So
did the Dolphins do that in like 73?
That's what I'm saying.
They're the only ones. That's
right.
They finished at like 12-0 or something like that, which is why I mean, the game was completely different back then, but also not really. But I don't know. It's still, you know, a very, very
I hate those asterisks.
It's a very clean stat to have regardless.
People have put an asterisk over like the 2011 ring that LeBron got, or I don't know what year it was, but like the whole 63 game season that they had, they'll put an asterisk next to that.
Oh, when they had the lockout?
Fam. Yeah, it's like, fam. No, I won the championship. It doesn't fucking matter how many games we played. Like, I'm still the greatest fucking basketball player alive right now. I'm still crushing shit.
The biggest asterisk in sports is like baseball home run records and hitting records and stuff like that from when they just didn't test and homies were fucking juicing. They were absolutely slugging shit on no work, and it's just like. It's like, man, just hitting hundreds of home runs over a few seasons. It must
have been such a baller time to be a baseball fan. Just seeing everything get crushed.
Yeah, and the pitchers were throwing.
Baseball, honestly,
the pitchers were throwing.
I'm all for it.
The pitchers were throwing like 75 max. Now they throw like 92 on a fastball. That's your freaking starter. Your starter throws like a solid like 91, 92 mile an hour fastball, and your closer throws at like 102 if he's god tier. And now like, but the average fucking, because there was so much less of a science back then of sports science. I mean, you watch like the one I see compared the most is like the Olympic 100-meter freestyle like 80 years ago or 100 years ago versus today. It's like they take double as long to swim the same distance because the sports science just didn't exist. So it was like
Michael Phelps just cheesing on y'all.
Whoever's just freakishly good and trained.
I watched a random video of Usain Bolt with his. I can't remember the time. It was like 9.5 or something like that out of a 100-meter dash or whatever it was. And dude, just that man is incredible. Like you see it, and like he's not that impressive. Like the first half of the run, and then he just breaks the fuck out like a cheetah, and he's just gone. Like the rest of the pack is just completely behind him.
Yeah, it's like a
insane Usain freaking.
It's like
he is an animal of a human being.
It's like in Demon Slayer when they talk about no wasted movement and the sword technique and everything. My man is wasting zero energy. Everything in his body, every movement of his existence is going to make him go as fast as possible in a straight line. It's like
he probably ran away from cheetahs. Like, it's not fair. Like we don't have cheetahs here to run away from. Like my man was training the right way.
David looking at us sideways like
that's a sensitive subject amongst.
Yeah, I was gonna say David's looking at us sideways like who would run from a cheetah? Yeah, it's like you turn and you fight that motherfucker. That's why David doesn't have the world record in the 100-meter dash because he wants to fight the cheetah and not run away from it. Because David doesn't have a flight instinct. It's just fight or fight.
Well, next time we go to
that's what I said, fight or fight. No, I said he doesn't. I said he doesn't have.
You said flight or fight.
God damn it! He doesn't have flight. It's only fight or fight, is what I said.
There you go.
Yeah. But anyway, that's a reference to God knows what episode. Was that the drinking one? Maybe no, right before the drinking one. Whatever.
It wasn't the drinking one. Yeah.
That's what made it crazy.
A sober thought: I could fight a cheetah.
Yeah, facts.
Hey man, stick to your guns. That's fine. That's fine. I think Rocio encouraged you. I think she supported you in the comments on that one. So
yeah, and I broke up with her over it. So.
Yeah, right.
And got back together 5 seconds later.
Episode 14. Yeah.
14. Yeah, there you go.
If you're a longtime fan, throw it in the chat.
The chat, the comments, the reviews. Yeah. Honestly, if we
please review us, by the way, because we're still sitting at 7 reviews and no one goes on there to review us.
That's true.
It's kind of breaks my heart.
We can start reading those off on the podcast as well.
That would be lit.
Possibly.
If we could have some user reviews that we could just read off like the whole fucking episode, just crazy reviews. And... Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'll change my tradition to reading comments if I get comments.
Shit, I'll do that.
All right.
I like your joke, so you got to keep that.
Segments. Yeah.
It'll be a funny comment, maybe. Leave us some funny comments.
There you go. That too. Any viewer interaction we can incorporate into the show, I'm ready for. We just have to have the interaction take place. So, because we're getting the views, at least to a degree. So, anyway.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's it, guys.
I don't have my stopwatch going, so I have no idea how long we went. But
that's fine. Probably
it was a pretty flawless episode, I will say.
Yeah. Okay.
That was fun.
There's a bit of a new thing we're trying out, the intro before the intro, essentially. So tell us how you like that down in the comments for sure. Or the reviews, like we said. But other than that, I think we're ready to close out here.
All right. Any closing thoughts on GameStop or any fire that we talked about?
Stonks.
Shout out to Elon Musk for fucking tweeting that GameStonks.
Yeah.
That was dank.
No
that was
shut
dank
up.
sauce.
No shut up.
That was dank sauce.
That was not dank sauce. How? That's like a freaking 5-year-old joke.
GameStonks is so good.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
People
Shout
idolize
out.
that man.
I want to say I saw
they
it
do.
somewhere
They
before
do.
Elon, but
Anyway. Anyway, here we are, guys. It's been real.
Jesus
Thanks for
fuck.
listening. I don't know. We just started ranting, but
yep.
I'm glad you could join us. It's been a messy and fun and pretty focused episode too, I guess.
Yeah, I'm about to
Yeah.
say it wasn't messy.
Decently
We
focused.
hit I felt like we hit a docket of topics that we didn't even have. We just had the GameStop thing, and then we just went into sports out of nowhere.
Yeah. There you go. Thanks, guys.
Alex.
Motherfucker.
You're right. You're right. My time is
Your time has come.
my time is now. My time is now. Thank you for listening. Tell us what you think. Give us a comment. Go to check us out on r/unboxinglife. We're there too. I love you all. Thank you for listening to me.
Yep. You heard the
To
man.
me.
Check out.
Thank you for listening to me.
I'm just laughing at Trevor laughing at this point. I don't know what's going on.
We'll just out.
Goodness.
Never mind. We love you.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
funny.
shit.
All right.
Yo, I'm gonna bust my fucking forehead vein one of these days. Y'all making me wheeze.
That's gonna happen.
Oh my
It'd
lord.
be very anime of you. So,
Anime.
but anyway, you heard the man. Go check us out on r/unboxinglife podcast. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at unboxinglifepod. And then you can find all our bullshit socials through there and all that good stuff. So yeah, let us know down in the comments, down in the reviews, what you thought of the episode, what you want to hear from us in some of these variety episodes, because it's going to be more off the cuff, more freestyle, whatever type bullshit. So if there's anything going on in general or in the past or in the future or conceptually, whatever you want us to talk about, let us know. So yeah, adios, everyone.
Yeah, great, beautifully said. I can't really add too much to that, but these episodes are fun. It's kind of like a mixed bag of what you're going to get every week. It's kind of not even predetermined in the slightest. I mean, we used to have a docket of this shit, and now that we're doing a variety every week, in addition to the review, you're just going to have to get an assortment of shit and have these shit takes from us. So, but they're a lot of fun.
Lordy me.
They're a lot of fun. I like I like having the variety with the reviews. And speaking of reviews, we're not going to have a review this week, but we will have our favorite albums of all time coming at you on Friday. Yeah, so that'll be a lot of fun. We're not going to record it this evening, but we'll record it soon. Hopefully, it'll hit your.
You don't have to know that.
Yeah. No, we do everything the same day. We never break. Love you all. It's been real. Adios. Peace out, baby.